Welcome to the Ho-Ho Show.
Rated the #1 most listened to podcast on Pluto. So join us now as we discuss news, politics, current events, and so much more. So clear the airwaves and strap in as we
defend the Constitution, because freedom matters.
broadcasting live from the Kida Studio. Welcome to the Ho-Ho Show. And as always, I'm your host, Ho-Ho. So how y'all's doing? I hope you're doing good. I really do. So, I apologize because right there in the beginning while the, stream starting soon was playing over there in, on the video side of things, I forgot to adjust the dial, the volume for the thing. And then I realized, oh, that's getting sent out on the stream. Oops. So yeah, it happens. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Most people be skipping through that anyway. So yeah. All right. We are going to go ahead and get into it because we got some stuff that we need to talk about. And most of it is basically stuff that, it's like, do you really expect us to fall for this? I mean, do you really think we're going to believe the words coming out of your mouth? Because I don't think so. I mean, I don't see anybody believing the line of Bravo Sierra that's coming out of the White House, the Secret Service, what have you. Now, y'all know how I like to start the show. I like to throw some satire in here. And, as of recently, I've been throwing satire with a purpose. Satire with a purpose is what I've been throwing in here. So let's go ahead and take a look at this first article from the Babylon Bee, which is normally where I go to for satire articles. Secret Service unable to identify a suspect in case of Ronald McDonald's missing hamburgers. And the picker is, you got Hello Brian over there in YouTube land. It says, "What's up, little Debbie Ho Ho?" Not much, man. But the picture has got the the Hamburglar behind press secretary guy. Now, is it just okay? Y'all know Grimace, right? Is it just me or does he resemble something? He resembles something to me. We're not going to talk about what that is, but I mean, he does. He does. He resembles that. So, of course, this is satire based off of, the bag of cocaine that the Secret Service found in the White House. I mean, you guys have heard about that by now. I'm sure most everybody has heard about the notorious bag of cocaine that nobody seems to know where the heck it came from. Nobody. And I mean, it's just so ridiculous. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I have no idea how many bags of cocaine we're talking about. I don't, because the location of where the bag was found has either changed or there's been like 4 different bags of cocaine that was found, because at first it was in whatever. I mean, it was found At first it was found at like some place in the West Wing. It was found in like the Situation Room, where only certain people really have access to these areas. Are not like open to the public where just anybody could have left this bag of cocaine. Then it was found like in some type of a common area. I don't remember where. And then it was found like in a cubicle where there wasn't any cameras that like specifically looked at that cubicle. And apparently the Secret Service doesn't know how to look at cameras to figure out who came in and out, to figure out who did it. Because after an exhaustive 10-day investigation where they didn't talk to anybody, they didn't do any interviews, all they did was, I guess, scour through some surveillance footage. They have no idea where this bag of cocaine came from. None. We have no idea, and apparently nobody cares. Now, I mean, the optics on this is bad if what they're saying is true. I mean, come on. We're telling our enemies that, go ahead, try to, bring some, anthrax in and kill somebody. Go ahead. That's fine. I mean, the White House is not secure, Of course, this is, this is what they're telling everybody. This is what they're telling people. It's like, hey, don't worry about it. Somebody can smuggle in a bag of cocaine. No big deal. Nobody knows who did it. It's not like we're going to really investigate it. That's what we're telling our enemies, right? Or do you think our enemies is like the rest of the American people, that we don't believe jack diddly squat? I mean, I've heard from a source of a source that they know darn good and well whose bag of cocaine this is. And I've actually heard that it is the person that we absolutely think that it is, because he was in the White House during this time frame. And so was the rest of the first family, Joe Biden and his wife, Jill. They were there. They left like later that day after the cocaine was found, I believe. But I mean, either way, they were there when it was found. So was, the he who shall not be named. He was there as well. And I've also heard that it wasn't him, and in which case it's like, whatever. I mean, who's the likely candidate here? Now, the thing that kind of cracks me up about this is here you have Hunter Biden, who may or may not be the person who left this cocaine, but, everybody knows that he has a cocaine problem. If I was a president, I wouldn't want these guys protecting me if they can't find out who brought in a bag of booger sugar. I love it. I love it. And you're right. I mean, are they really that incompetent? And that's assuming people believe the Bravo Sierra that's coming out of, the White House and the Secret Service, But, here you have this bag of cocaine, and the likely culprit is Hunter Biden. And it's like, that plea deal that they did regarding his not filling out the paperwork properly for buying a gun, even though the one that they're claiming, it's like, okay, there was two guns, because the gun that he actually filled out the paperwork on was for a revolver. The gun that they actually found was a semi-automatic, and of which case, where's the paperwork for the semi-automatic? So he had, he illegally filed claiming that he wasn't on drugs. Apparently, there wasn't proper paperwork for the gun that was discarded illegally in a dumpster by his girlfriend that used to be his brother's wife, close to a school where any kid just could have found it randomly, And so you got that and that, and then you have the taxes, and we'll get into that later on in the show, but the plea deal that he's getting, because they're getting it's not even a slap on the wrist, really. He's not, He's not getting a slap on the wrist, not even. You know, I mean, that's like ripping off an iguana's tail and calling that punishment for whatever he did. It's like, dude, okay, one, he barely felt it. Two, the thing's going to grow back, and it just whatever. I mean, it's part of their defense mechanism. It's like he's not even getting a slap on the wrist. This is ridiculous. What the hell? Now, here's the thing. Again, this is assuming you believe what's coming out of the White House and the Secret Service. Them claiming after a 10-day investigation, not talking to anybody, only at most reviewing, surveillance footage. But do we honestly believe what they're saying? I mean, really, do we believe them? I mean, we're talking the most... Hello, Linda, over there in Spreaker. And she says, hello, I believe that bag of cocaine belongs to Hunter. And you know what? That's exactly what I think too. I absolutely believe that bag belongs to him. You know, because he was there. He was filmed on the balcony doing a little straightening up his nose. It's kind of common for people on the booger sugar, as Brian put over there in YouTube land, which is absolutely hilarious. I love that one. I want to use that. Booger sugar. Yeah. So do we honestly believe the Bravo Sierra coming out of the White House and the Secret Service that they have absolutely no idea? This is the most secure building. Home, residence, office space. I mean, guys, this is the headquarters of the executive branch / home of the President of the United States of America, the single most powerful man in the country. This is the most secure building on the entire planet. And you're going to tell me that the Secret Service has no idea who left this bag of cocaine in the White House. You know, it amazes me how, when it comes to things they want to know about, not just inside the White House, but inside, the Capitol, all of Washington, D.C., they have the ability to figure it out whenever it's something they don't want to know anything about. When it's something that may be embarrassing to the first family or bad to Joe Biden and the first family, or Hunter Biden, or, the wife, Jill Biden. It's amazing that when they want to know something, they do. When they don't want to know something, they don't know anything about it. Case in point, this headline from justthenews.com. Headline, from White House cocaine to J6 pipe bomb. Secret Service drawing intense scrutiny during Biden era. Of course. Brian says, I got that from Brandon, the booger sugar. That definitely sounds like something he'd say. I mean, yeah. That doesn't surprise me in the least. Brandon's got some good one-liners and good little, I call Pritzker gravy sweats. I do as well. Brian asks a really good question in there. He says, I want to know if he was sharing it with anybody. I heard that he was. And the person whom I heard he was sharing it with may end up shocking some people. We all hate her cackle. Even though she is the border czar, nominated by the illustrious Joe Biden himself, she's never been down to the border. I'm sure you're picking up when I'm throwing down as far as who he may have been sharing it with. Now, I have nothing to support this, nothing whatsoever, just, some rumors and, some stuff that's been floating around. But I heard that he has, sharing with somebody, yes. And that's one of the people that I heard that he may be sharing with. That's just what I heard. I got no way to prove it. I got no sources that, let alone multiple sources that are throwing that down. That's just a, I'm hearing the rumor wagon, the scuttlebutt. That's what I'm hearing. And it's like, I wouldn't be surprised just because of some of the things that this individual, whom will not be named, AI is 2 letters. That is the clue. But yeah, so that's just what I heard. So yeah, back to this article. The cocaine to the J6 pipe bomb. It's like, you got the J6 pipe bomb that they can't figure out who put this pipe bomb there. Can't figure it out. They got no idea. I was going to say Harris. Yeah. Yep. That's whom I heard the rumored sharing of the booger sugar was with. That's who I heard. But anyway, with the J6 pipe bomb, they have absolutely no idea where that pipe bomb came from, who put it there. That they have a rough guesstimation of when it got put there, but they have no idea of who actually did it. She said AI is 2 letters. Oh, really? Oh, yeah, that interview was absolutely ridiculous, Linda. I mean, she just, some of the stuff that, she almost explains some things like she's speaking to kindergartners that has no idea what the heck is going on. I mean, just listening to some of her interviews, it's like, really? And you're the vice president? I mean, holy crap. Holy crap. Anyway, back to this. So you got the J6 pipe bomb. And then you have all of these people that showed up at the quote unquote riot, the J6 riot, all of those people, and they couldn't figure out all kinds of people of whom was there and what they did and where they came from. People whom just showed up one day. And, here they're just throwing all kinds of people in jail for over 2 years now. And not all of them has seen I'm not going to say the light of day, but they've not all seen their day in court. I mean, what happened? Which one is it? Is it the Fourth Amendment, due process, a speedy trial that, hey, we're not going to lock you up and throw away the key just because you're a political prisoner, which is what's going on in this country. Make no mistake about it, that we have political prisoners that are locked up at the Capitol right now because they dared to go against the cheating from the election. And yes, I want to call it cheating. I've heard people call it legal cheating, legalized cheating. It's like, how is that possible? Because if the Constitution, follow me here, if the Constitution is the supreme law of the land and the Constitution says that the time and means, the day is set forth in the Constitution. This is when the election is going to be. We have the time and means and whatnot, that is determined by the legislative branch, which last time I checked, consists of 2 houses, the Senate and the House of Representatives in each state. They're the ones who determine, time and place in each individual state. So if it's not a time and place chosen by the legislative branch of each particular state, then how can you call it legal cheating? It's not. If it goes against the Constitution, it's freaking cheating. They cheated. Why? No, anyway. Oh, yeah. Brian goes, hold on a minute. It's an insurrection now. Right. Yeah, insurrection. My bad, insurrection. Even though Even though not one person has been charged with insurrection, even the people that has been charged, they've not been charged with insurrection. At most, they've been charged with trespassing. You know, the QAnon shaman, you know, Mr. Viking Hat himself, you know, which if I was him, I'd be completely pissed, to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, you know, because you have the federal judge and the prosecuting attorney that got together and determined what evidence they were going to turn over to the defense. And it was only after Tucker Carlson released the video footage that they were like, we really can't charge him with anything now. But, you know, they already pressured the guy into pleading guilty. But they went ahead and they released him because of all this, but he still has it on his record. Whatever they charged him with, he pled guilty. And now, you know, the truth comes out that, oh, well, it's too late because, you know, hey. I mean, any president worth their weight would let every single one of them people go and records expunged and a huge, you know, not even an I'm sorry. You know, locking somebody up for over 2 years, you know, I'm sorry really doesn't cover, you know, no. Give them some money tax-free. Yeah, give them some money tax-free. So yeah, when they want to find out something, they find it out. When they don't want to find out something, they have absolutely no idea what's going on. Brian put in there, he goes, what an oxymoron. Legal cheating. That's right. Legal cheating. And I, like I said, I don't understand that. If it goes against the Constitution, how is it legal? If the Constitution is the supreme law of the land, which I read that somewhere, I don't know. I don't get it. Bring the truth, ho-ho, says Facebook user. I'm assuming Facebook user, that might be Dave. Are you Dave, sir? By the way, I'm sure Linda over there in Spreakerland says hi. So, all right, guys, we are going to go ahead and take the first break. And when I return, we are going to talk about a little bit on this FBI laptop, or the laptop, you know, the FBI going to Twitter saying, yes, actually, I have lost a little bit of weight. Thank you for noticing. You look great, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. The Twitter Hunter Biden laptop thing, got a little bit of stuff to throw in there on that. Some other things regarding FBI and what Comer is doing. But anyway, we will get into that right after this. Just a couple minutes. Don't go nowhere.
You are correct. You are correct.
Do you love your occasional Mexican dish or your musical fruit? Are you tired of walking by family members and crop dusting them? Well, if this has ever happened to you, might I introduce you to Tampons brand butt plugs. Tampons brand butt plugs is that particular type of butt plug that allows you to walk in public in confidence knowing that you're not going to accidentally crop dust somebody. Tampons brand butt plugs now with the plastic applicator.
Not just for women anymore.
Tampons brand butt plugs. All right, and we are back. All right, so this segment I'm wanting to touch base on FBI, things from Hunter Biden, and, a few other things of that nature. So let's go ahead and get right into it and some other stuff that is absolutely amazing as well. So this headline from National Review. Headline. FBI, I told Twitter Hunter Biden laptop was real on day it was censored. Or FBI told Twitter Hunter Biden laptop was real on day it was censored. Why do I have such a hard time reading? I don't know. I'm going to let you in on a secret, guys. Now, I know this is something that I have believed for quite some time. And to be honest with you, I'm really not hearing anybody else talking about time frame on this. I really don't, Maybe I've just missed it. I don't know. Most people are more or less putting an official type of a timeline of when the FBI or some people have claimed that the FBI knew that the laptop was genuine. But I attest that they knew it was genuine quite a while ago. Put near since day one. Okay? Let's go back into the Wayback Machine. Let's go back into the Wayback Machine. Really, Linda puts in here, Alex Exum got banned from Twitter for sharing the news about the laptop as soon as the story came out. Huh. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, that's what they were doing about this from day one. As soon as more or less information was coming out about it, they put a stop to it. But here's what it amounts to, okay? Hunter Biden takes his laptop into a shop to get it fixed. A computer repair guy takes it in, gets it fixed. Forgets about it because he's high on crack, and apparently that's what crackheads do. They forget about things. It was sitting there for a year. He says thumbs up to Mini Trump. I wonder if that sucker is on. Nope, it's not facing the right way. Never mind. Little Trump's awesome. I used to have that thing to where I can, just click on, the button and show, and it showed him, with the little gizmo that's right back there too. Gizmo, what's his name? Gizmo? Is it Gizmo? From Gremlins, the Mogwai guy. Anyway, so he leaves the laptop there at the computer repair guys for like a year. After a year, the guy claims ownership on it. And instead of just doing a factory reset, wiping the sucker to where he can sell it and get some money back from it, he takes a look at the hard drive and he takes a look at the computer and figures out, oh, holy crap. There's some bad stuff in here. This is very bad. So he calls the FBI, crack, illegal activities that the guy finds and whatnot. Calls the FBI. The FBI come and pick up the computer. 2 weeks later, within 2 weeks, the FBI goes back to the computer repair guy and says, did you make any copies? And the guy said, excuse me, hairball. Oops. That's some good high quality H2O right there. But the guy says, no, I did not make any copies. FBI goes, cool. And they leave. And then later, like a month or two after that, they say that, oh, well, it they figured out that maybe it was actually true. They knew that this laptop was genuinely Hunter Biden's laptop before they went back to the computer repair shop to say, did you make any copies of this? Had to take another drink. Let that one sink in. Before they went back to the computer repair shop to talk to this guy, they knew that the laptop was genuinely Hunter Biden's laptop. They knew this. They might not have known what all was on this, but they knew it was his laptop, and they knew it was bad because they knew that he used this on business. They were like, oh, holy crap. And from what I know, the guy made at least 2 copies. I mean, he made a copy, sent it to Rudy Giuliani. I think he made another copy, sent it somewhere else, and maybe even a third or a fourth. I have no idea, but he made several copies of this thing. And we should all be very happy that he did, because had this not happened, holy crap. I mean, if Hunter Biden wasn't actually a crackhead, there's all kinds of things we wouldn't know about right now. But we know. So within 2 weeks of the FBI getting a hold of this laptop, they knew it was a genuine article. It belonged to Hunter Biden. And they knew it was bad. And then the FBI went into negotiation with social media, Twitter being one of the main ones that we hear about, calling for censorship of this story, claiming that it was Russian disinformation, even though they knew darn good and well that it wasn't. And I'm not even getting into all that crap, because that was, that's just a load of crap that is, it's not even funny. It truly is. It's not even funny. We have a 2-tier justice system. It's obvious. You look at what Hunter Biden was accused of. Let's go into this a little bit more. This article, again, from Daily Wire. Comer expects to recommend up to 10 criminal referrals against Hunter Biden. I highly doubt it. I'll believe it when I see it. I mean, you have President Trump talking to the Ukraine guy, the phone call, hey, I got some money that they're going to be giving to you. And, that's all cool, fine and dandy. I have a, I really can't get anything accomplished on this whole, corruption thing. Y'all have been known for corruption in the past. It would be nice if y'all would look into this. Hopefully you guys are better than the regime that came before you. Maybe we can get some headway on this, because I'm getting nowhere on my end. Here's the money. Maybe you could do something about this. And then you have a conversation, a phone call. Oh yeah, and by the way, all that was done from a whistleblower that wasn't a whistleblower. It was hearsay. Nothing from firsthand accounts. In fact, all the firsthand accounts of this phone call was like, there's nothing to see here. Somebody that had it out for Trump that was, not even there during the phone call. He's the one that rose a stink about the whole thing. Okay, fine, whatever. And then you have Hunter Biden, while he was vice president, while his son was sitting on the board of Burisma, an energy company. For why, I have absolutely no idea. And he tells them that, hey, we've got a bunch of money. I don't remember the dollar amount. We got a bunch of money. but you're not going to get it until you fire the prosecutor that's investigating Burisma, where my son works at. And, you know, if you don't believe me, just know that I have the full backing of the White House and the President of the United States. Go ahead and give him a call. He will back me up on this. And then he brags on national TV about this and says, and the son of a bitch did it. Son of a bitch fired him. Hey, there we go. Thank you, Nick. He says, speak the truth. Oh, now you can see me. Yes, I can over there on the YouTube's land. So, I mean, here you have the accusation of a quid pro quo, and they impeach him for it. And then you have an actual quid the tit for tat, this for that, quid pro quo going on from Joe Biden, and nothing happens. Nothing to see here. I'll believe the criminal referrals against Hunter Biden when I see them. I'll believe it when I see it. You know, and let's get into a few more things right here. Okay, so here's this article from, holy crap, where is that? I have absolutely no idea. Headline says, former FBI supervisory special agent confirms the IRS whistleblower testimony. And I got to admit, this absolutely cracks me up, because here you have a guy that says, I'm a Democrat and I'm gay and this is what was going on. And it's like, holy crap, he's a Democrat, he's gay. I mean, is this like a believe all women type of a thing? I mean, where is the Democrats going to go on this? You know, he lost his gay card. I'm just saying they took his gay card away from him. He can't be gay anymore because, you know, he's a whistleblower that's going against. And, you know, there you go. Believe all, you know, gay guys and, you know, protected class citizen. And you know, I mean, I wonder what kind of hoops they're going to jump through on this one to, you know, to backpedal on this. I'm really kind of wondering right now, because right now, you know, gay people and whatnot, they're the new, you know, special protected class citizens. And now it's like, oh, holy crap. Former FBI supervisory agent, special agent, confirms the IRS whistleblower testimony. And basically the whistleblower said that, yeah, he had no freedom to operate and conduct the investigation the way that he needed to. And he was limited on access, limited on everything. Yeah. And the FBI supervisory special agent confirmed all this stuff. Moving on. And this one, you know, and this is again from justthenews.com. I got a few things from Just the News on this episode. Headline, FBI tipped off Biden team Secret Service about plan to interview Hunter. Agent tells Congress, yeah, gee, special treatment much? Yeah, it kind of looks like it. It kind of looks like they tipped off the Biden. Like, come on, guys. Okay, let's go back into the Wayback Machine a little bit. Let's think about something here. Hold on. Let me see what the next one is. Oh yeah. This headline from 1945: Joe Biden got a $10 million bribe from Ukraine, and this, of course, happened after the whole fire the prosecutor looking into Burisma, where my son sits on the board of director, is I heard it was actually a $5 million bribe that went to Biden and a $5 million bribe that went to Biden. Have you ever said something and then, like, when it was halfway out of your mouth, you're like, man, that's stupid. So I heard it was actually a $5 million bribe that went to Joe and a $5 million bribe that went to Hunter. That's what I had heard. I don't know. When they were talking about this money transfer, the Ukrainian that sent it was like, dude, yeah, we sent all kinds of money. We already sent it. But don't worry about it. It'll take them years to figure out how we did this with all the shell companies and everything else that we went through. Don't even worry about it. We got this. We got you covered. They'll never find the money. They'll never figure out it was us that sent it. Okay. So yeah. But I want you guys to think about something. Two-tier justice. You have Hillary Clinton. Now, I know I've talked about this stuff time and time again. Okay. But I'm going about it a slightly different direction this time. Okay. But you have Hillary Clinton. Okay. She was given heads up. Her lawyers went through the emails, the classified documents, went through this stuff and informed the FBI and whomever else was relevant at the time. This is what we have. There you go. The lawyers did. Whom, by the way, do not have clearance to be able to do this. They don't have the security clearance to be able to look at these classified documents. However, they got the green light to, they weren't prosecuted. They weren't gone after for their mishandling of classified information. The fact that they even looked at it in the first place. Hillary Clinton wasn't, punished for allowing her lawyers to look at any of it, which is just weird, whatever, But, there's the two-tier justice system. You have Joe Biden, whom lawyers went through everything and gave to the FBI what they seen fit. There was no raid done to any of the locations where classified information was found in either parts, whether it be to Hillary, whether it be to Joe Biden, whether it be to, houses that Joe Biden owned that Hunter was living at. There was no raid. There was no anything else. The lawyers went through it and gave to the FBI what they wanted to. So we know the shenanigans that happened with Hillary. But the archives, they didn't even know this crap was missing. Some of it dating back to whenever Joe Biden was a senator. And they're going to tell us that, he gave back everything. How do you know? Did you go through it? Did you exercise a search warrant? Even though they had probable cause, they were forced to stand down and do nothing by the higher-ups in the FBI. They were not allowed to pursue a search warrant. They weren't allowed to do anything besides sit there with their thumb firmly planted up their hindquarters, swirling it around a little bit, and there you go. Yes, there's something wrong with me. The lawyers whom did not have the clearance to be able to look at these documents were allowed to go through all of it and give back to the FBI what they said was classified. And, the FBI, just took the lawyers at their word that, yes, you have everything. Now, let me ask you a question. I want honesty here. Did Trump get that same kind of treatment? No. Hell, the lawyers weren't even allowed in the building, and they waited until a time that they knew Trump was gone before they went in. news media at the ready. You want to know when I knew that this story was Bravo Sierra, completely Bravo Sierra, with the classified documents that they had? It was the first article that I seen on it. It was the very first one. Do you remember the very first article you seen about this? You know, you seen about the documents, classified documents that were found at Mar-a-Lago? Because it was the famous picture, right? Because you got, you know, a few boxes that had documents in them, and these documents that were sprung out on the floor, showing clear pictures of the stuff that was inside these file folders, not just file folders that were marked classified, some of the documents that were inside them. That's when I knew that it was Bravo Sierra. That's when I knew this whole thing was bullshit. Because if it was genuine, would they have taken the picture of it? No. You're going to tell me that's classified documents, and yet you're going to take a picture of it? You're going to give it to a news media site and publish it for the world to see? And you're going to claim that that is classified documents? The thing was right on there, classified. You can see it. You can read it. Nah, that was an oops. That's when I knew the whole thing was bogus. I hit a wrong button, by the way, over there in all the other lands over there. My thing fell over and a button got hit and it started playing stuff that it wasn't supposed to play. But anyway, we're good. We got this. I'm not even sure what all got pressed on that one. I have no idea. Anyway. Double standard. And I think we all know it, right? You know, we know the double standard is there. We know it. You know, at this point, we absolutely know it. All right, we are going to go ahead and take another break. When we get back, we are going to be talking about censorship. I absolutely love this. I really do. Censorship. This is absolutely amazing. And yeah, a little bit about the Hunter Biden laptop, but we're not really going to be talking about that with the censorship thing. We're going a little bit of a different direction on this. So just a couple minutes and I will be right back. Have you ever had an ailment that a normal over-the-counter remedy just couldn't fight? If this is the case, then boy, have I got the solution for you. Tussin. That's right, Tussin. Cough? Tussin. Cold? Tussin. Runny nose? Tussin. Itchy watery eyes? Tussin. Broken leg? Tussin. Tussin is the ultimate cure-all, guaranteed to stop anything that ails you. Tussin. Available wherever OTCs are sold. That's right, Tussin. Get yours today. All right, so we are going to go ahead and dive into it. We got quite a bit to talk about, several different articles I am bringing up for your entertainment purposes, and of which case you can catch all of these by going over to thehohoshow.com. Just click on that newsfeed tab and you will see my magazine over there on Flipboard, my go-to hub, my one-stop shop for anything, everything, and all things news. Oh yeah, no, they're not a sponsor of the show, but you know what? With the exception of one tiny flaw the Flipboard has, I like what they do, and I like how they do it. I really do. And that one tiny flaw is, if you want to check out the magazine, you've got to sign up. That's really, guys, really? You can't just let me be anonymous. My peeps got to do that, which, I mean, it sucks, man. I feel you. I feel your pain. I really do. I really do. But yeah, you can check out my magazine over there, and I've got all the articles. I think there's like 19 for this particular episode, 19 in there. You can check all those out. Fact check me. Read where I get my information from. Be your own source. Own your position and your information. I definitely recommend everybody do that. I really do. I definitely recommend doing that. Own your information. Own your point of view. Own it to the point where you can defend it. Don't do what the Democrats do. I can't win a battle, so I'm going to start name calling. I'm going to call you a racist and bigot and this, that, and the other. It's like, dude, if you got to resort to name calling, you done lost the argument. And by the way, the argument is over. I mean, trying to argue with these type of people and defend, I'm not racist. Well, guess what? It doesn't matter. They've lost the argument. And if you continue to argue, well, you've lost too. Now I have no idea who the idiot is. Anyway, let's go ahead and dive right into it. This article is from Daily Wire. The rundown: Dems still love censorship. Plus, more evidence of Biden corruption. And boy, howdy, have we not seen some doozies with the Biden Family Crime Syndicate. Holy crap. I mean, it seems like every single day there's just a little bit more stuff that's coming out. And we know this because, you have them pointing the finger at Trump and, orange man bad and this, that, and the other. And, we really got to do something about this. And, you hear more about Joe Biden. But of course, you're not going to hear any of this on mainstream media because mainstream media is the only thing they want to focus on is orange man bad. So the only way they can keep on focusing on orange man bad is to do something else and making Trump relevant in the news cycle. This way they can continue to ignore about Joe Biden crime syndicate. It's more or less what it amounts to. But with the whole still loving censorship. Now, of course, we talked already about the, with the censorship of the Hunter Biden laptop. Yeah, and this article from the Washington Times: expected treatment of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. will likely lead more Democrats to walk away. And whenever I read this article, I absolutely had to chuckle. I really did. Or at least whenever I heard this story, I had to chuckle. And the reason being is they were talking about censorship. And while they were talking about censorship, they made a motion to try to censor him from being able to speak and be heard while they were talking about censorship. And I don't remember who it was that were saying that we need to censor him, because he can't be heard, because, we're talking about censorship and we want to censor a guy who's going to put us in our place about censorship. We ain't going to have any of this. We need to censor this guy. Is the hypocrisy? Are you picking up what I'm throwing down here? Absolutely ridiculous. All the while you have people, you got Ilhan Omar, Rashid Tlaib, open Semites. I mean, these guys are so anti-Israel, it's not even funny. I mean, holy crap. Ilhan Omar, I've talked about her in the past. This is the woman that married her brother to get citizenship into the United States. Can you say fraud? I know that you can. Open Semite. And here they're claiming that what something that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. said a long time ago on something or another that doesn't mean jack diddly squat. They're calling him an anti-Semite, and we can't have him talk about censorship because, we're going to censor him before he can do it. Now, here's the thing. Now, I don't know RFK Jr. from Adam. I don't know the guy. I don't know a whole heck of a lot about him. I haven't really looked up a lot about him. He definitely looks like or seems to be somebody that, can bring the Democrats out of the fire if they so choose not to go full on retard. He would be the guy to do it. I don't see him winning the nomination because he's not radical enough for the left. I don't see it happening. But at any rate, he's the guy that would bring it back to more moderate, there you go. And he's a Kennedy. Anyway, from what other people have said about the man is that he said something that was anti-Semitic. And the guy is so not anti-Semitic that he had no idea that what he said could have been construed as being anti-Semitic. That's what somebody else said of him. It's like, dude, this is not the guy's heart, whatever. Brian puts in and goes, Richard Nixon resigned from office for a lot less than what Biden has done. Dude, you ain't kidding. The weaponizing of, the IRS. Good grief, man. This is what we're looking at today is the weaponization of, just Washington, D.C. in general. It's the weaponizing of the IRS, 87,000 IRS agents. Okay. This is the weaponization of the FBI. This is a weaponization of the Attorney General something or another. The people that prosecute people. Is the weaponization of just the entirety of Washington, D.C. That's what we're looking at today. Nobody seems to care that we've had people in jail in D.C. for an insurrection that still have yet to be charged for anything, let alone insurrection. And yes, Richard Nixon definitely resigned. He was impeached and resigned before he could be removed. And we will talk about that here in just uno momento, por favor. So there you go. This next headline from, we're going to cover a few of these and just kind of go quick into it, and then we're going to discuss. Then we're going to discuss. This headline from Newsweek: Fox News host calls Trump a whiner. Begs him to stop talking about 2020 Ermiger. We can't have it. You can't be talking about 2020. What are you thinking? This headline from Mediaite, that's hard to say. House Republican says that he'd vote for Trump impeachment expungement that he just called not wise in terms of constitutional history. All right, we're going to stop right there. All right, so back to this Newsweek thing with, calling Trump a whiner, Some people may be tired of hearing about it as far as what happened. In a way, I agree. In a way, I disagree. As far as, stop being a whiner, I get the sentiment. Let's just put it that way. I really do. I get the sentiment, Stop focusing on the past, focus on the future. I mean, here's the thing though, man. When you're talking President Donald J. Trump, his record speaks for himself. Nobody in their right mind is looking at the Biden presidency going, man, things are great. Things really were great under Trump. We had the highest labor participation rate across all reporting factors. Your race, your gender, the whole 9 yards. We've never had it so good. Highest labor participation rate than any other time in history since they started reporting it or, collecting that type of data for black people. Highest labor participation rate for everybody. Lowest unemployment numbers. More real unemployment numbers, by the way. And here's one thing too. When they talk about inflation, okay, not that terribly long ago, there was all kinds of things that were thrown into how they calculated inflation numbers. Cost of energy, cost of fuel, cost of food. Those were factors that were in there. Guess what they no longer count now? Guess what they no longer look at whenever they're looking at the inflation rates. They don't look at food. They don't look at fuel. And they don't look at the cost of energy. So they change the metrics halfway through the game and say, oh, Biden's doing so much better now. This is great. RFK would be a lot more popular if he had just get drunk and drive his car off into a lake with a woman in the back seat like Teddy did. I know, right? I heard somebody joking. It's like, dude, we're, with the crack being found at the White House, we're just a couple steps away from finding a dead hooker. And I'm like, oh, dear Lord. Really? Yeah. The scandals that went on back then. And here we're getting the same type of thing now. It's great. It's great, isn't it? It's great. Anyway. But Trump, yeah. So he needs to look forward, but you can't ignore how we got to where we're at, right? You can't ignore how we got here. How did we get here? All kinds of crap. And I like, back to this Mediaite article, House Republican says that he'd vote for Trump impeachment expungement. I got to be honest with you on this. I don't know. I don't agree with this. I really don't. Let me tell you why. Trump already wears this as a badge of honor. And why should you not? Okay. Let this remain in the history books. Let this remain on the public record that they legitimately impeached Trump over nothing. Brian put in here, he goes, we're just tired of nothing getting done about it. You're right. That's why I said whenever the whole, the 10 more indictments that they're talking about bringing up towards Hunter. Okay, yeah, whatever. I'll believe it when I see it. So what if they're having all these hearings? So what if they're doing all this investigation? They investigated the crap out of Hillary Clinton. They knew she was guilty. The investigation proved that she was guilty. Did anything happen? No. That's what the American people are sick and tired of. It's not just the fact that we know there's a two-tier justice system. It's the fact that there's a two-tier justice system and they expect us to just be okay with it. It's not okay. They're stealing my country and I'm pissed about it. They're tearing up the Constitution and they expect me to just be okay with it. I'm not. None of this is okay. Until people go to jail, strung up, drawn and quartered, ain't nothing going to be fixed. Just being honest with you. Until we see punishments going on, ain't nothing going to happen. Let's move on. This headline from Salon. And we're going somewhere with this. They're hypocrites. Republicans now funding the same voting methods they demonized in the Trump. This one from from Vice News. Fake electors are getting charged for attacking democracy. So is Donald J. Trump. And there's something on this one we'll get into. Michigan Attorney General Nessel charges Trump electors with forgery despite JFK precedent. And I thought that was just absolutely hilarious. We'll talk about that real quick and then we'll go back to the other. The fake electors. In Michigan, there were 16 electors that, signed paperwork and then went to the Capitol for January 6th. These 16 electors are facing 8 felony charges apiece for conspiracy, forgery, and more. Why is this a big deal? Here's the thing, okay? I don't know if you're aware of this, but, when you certify an election, whether it be through legal, constitutional methods or non-constitutional methods, there's always that possibility that these electors may be rejected for unconstitutionality. That, that vote is not going to be accepted. If that happens, well, you need alternatives, right? So if you're going to challenge the results of Michigan, if you don't have an alternative to the people that are already there that are going to already vote a certain way, then it looks like it doesn't matter if you argue about it. They're still going the way that they're not supposed to be going because it's illegitimate, right? Right. And by the way, back to this article, despite a JFK precedent. You see, when Democrats do something, it is A-OK. JFK did the exact same freaking thing. Had alternative electors that was there just in case a state got overturned. And if I remember correctly, it did. And thankfully for JFK or whomever it was, I believe it was JFK, thankfully for him that they had that alternative because they were the ones that got used. Was that okay? Yes, it was. Everything was perfectly fine about that. Everything was good and golden, pony boy. It was great. Nothing wrong with it. When the Democrats, when George W. got elected, they were like, illegitimate president. Oh, illegitimate. We can't have his president. No. Whenever that happened, it was okay to challenge the results of an election, to disagree. But, whenever Joe Biden gets elected, we can't do that. When President Trump, whenever it's his election and Michigan wants to send alternatives to Democrats, to January 6th, then it's bad. When Democrats do it, it's good. When Republicans do it, it's bad. Hypocrisy, double standard. Back to this hypocrisy. Let's go back to this. Let's go back to this Salon article, and we'll wrap this part of the thing up. Salon, they're hypocrites. Republicans now funding the same voting methods they demonized under Trump. Now this is where the title of the show comes in. Fighting fire with fire. Look, Democrats knew what they were doing. Okay. I give them all the credit in the world. And by the way, I am sick and flippin' tired of people on the right that are proud to be the silent majority. You can just go back to your safe room and go cuddle your bunny because you're a worthless, snot-nosed piece of crap. If you want to rest on the silent majority like it's okay, it's not okay. We're losing the country. Democrats went in through the dead of night. They went in and they made themselves relevant everywhere, from top to bottom, all parts of government. They made themselves relevant. They put all the building blocks in place. And then they took everything over. They took over the Department of Education. They took over the IRS. They took over the FBI, the CIA, the EPA. They took it all over. They took over the boardrooms. They took over the education. They took over everything. They didn't just, we're talking a 100-year plan here. Then they executed it flawlessly. Have you ever noticed that you never roll back the Democrat agenda? You don't. You may give it a little bit of a pause, but it seems like anytime compromise is made, the Democrats still and always get what they want. Did we get rid of Obamacare? No. Even though each and every one of them SOBs were like, we'll get rid of Obamacare as soon as we have the power. The power. Did we get rid of it? No. We had the Senate, the House, the presidency. We had enough people in the Supreme Court that we could have done it. Did we do anything? No. Instead, when they weren't in power, they said, this is what we'll do if you just give us the power and the authority to do something. We're going to do it, by golly. Did we do it? No, they didn't. Worthless pieces of crap. Get rid of every single one of them, Mitch McConnell included. Romney, no. Do nothing Republicans. They've infiltrated the party. It's time we take it back. But here's the thing. Back to this, where I was at before. They're hypocrites. Republicans now funding the same voting methods that they demonized under Trump. We have to fight fire with fire. They legally stole the election. How did they steal the election? Oh, we know how they stole the election. We know how they stole it. I mean, it's not a question. We know exactly how they did it. There's been enough reporting. There's been enough eyewitness accounts. There's been enough truck drivers that have spoken about what they seen with ballots crossing state lines and everything else, and truckloads of ballots that went from here to there and everywhere. We know how they cheated. We're not going to be able to affect change until we take control. We have to figure out if we are going to cheat better or not. This legalized cheating. We know how they did it. What's that term? All is fair in love and war? Have you figured out that we're at war yet? Have you? I mean, I legitimately want to know. The country that was given to us by our founding fathers, the Constitution was a masterpiece. You know, I mean, yes, there was some flaws in it. Not necessarily in the verbiage of the Constitution itself, but the people who drew it up, they're only human. But they understood their infirmities, they understood their flaws, and that's why they put it in there that this is what we do to fix it. They were afraid of big government. You know, you had the left touting on this is what democracy looks like the whole while. They want unelected bureaucrats as part of the executive branch, that here's the new boss, same as the old boss. People in the Department of Education, people in the EPA, people in the CIA, the FBI, people in all these different levels of bureaucracy in there that are, none of these people are constitutional. I live by a little green book in the Department of Transportation my entire life. Even right freaking now is governed by the DOT, a bunch of unelected bureaucrats, none of it constitutional. The legislative branch never voted on any of these rules. Not a single one of them. But yet, my life is governed illegally, unconstitutionally, by a bunch of bureaucrats that were never elected in Washington, D.C. It's time we start fighting fire with fire. Dissolve federally the Department of Transportation. Guess what? That's a state job. It is. Dissolve federally the Department of Education. Guess what? That's a state job. It's not a federal one. It's a state job. The EPA, it's a state job. Let's get rid of communism. Why don't we? We don't have a democracy. We have a republic, and it's time we remember this. It's time we let these people know and understand that you work for us. We are not here to prop you up on our shoulders. We are the leaders of this country. You, me. I am simply one of we the people. This founding document right here isn't giving government power and us restrictions and limitations. No, this is giving us the freedom and restrictions to the government to do a very small, limited, numbered things. That's all they have the ability to do. But yet we have allowed them to take control and do more. It's unconstitutional. I mean, good grief. You know, the 9th and 10th Amendment is absolutely amazing. We all know the 10th Amendment. You know, where's it at? The power is not delegated to the United States by the Constitution nor prohibited by it to the states, or reserved to the states respectively or to the people. Yeah. The 9th Amendment. The enumeration of the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed or deny or disparage others retained by the people. In other words, you have more rights that we didn't put in here. You have way more rights than what we can put on a little bitty piece of parchment. The federal government has limited power and authority. Everything else belongs to the states and the people, and the Ninth Amendment, you have way more rights and freedoms than what we could ever put on a piece of parchment. Hello. It's time we remember the freedoms that was given to us by our founding fathers. Isn't it amazing how we had more freedoms under the crown prior to the revolution than what we have today? Oh, yeah. Canada has more freedoms than what we have right now. Oh, yeah. As a truck driver, I used to go up to Canada quite often. Yes, they have more freedoms than we have. Moving on. Where are we at? I think there's other stuff. Oh, yeah. So I got one more thing to talk about. And I'm just going to warn you, this is going to be controversial. Very much so. Very controversial. Holy crap. I'm probably going to get hate mail from this. I don't care. This video might even get removed for this. I don't care. If so, I'll just go ahead and post it over on Rumble. You know, if it does get taken down for any reason whatsoever. But one more topic, and we will get into crap. We're not going to get into crap, but we will get into that one more topic right after this. Don't go anywhere. This is going to be a good one.
Eliminate the federal Department of Education if we can. Welcome and thanks for joining us.
You are correct. You are correct.
Do you work at any of the myriad of jobs where you might have to sit on your bum all day? Well, if so, maybe you know what it's like to suffer from the condition known as swamp ass. Well, if so, have I got the solution for you?
Anti-monkey butt powder.
That's right.
Anti-monkey butt powder.
You can use it indoors, outdoors, work or play, or on any occasion when you sit on your bum all day. Don't let your buns get red. Use anti-monkey butt powder instead. Available wherever anti-friction powder is sold. All right, and we are back. So, guys, this is the last segment of the show. Linda put in here, you will never get hate mail from me. You are free to speak, even if others or I disagree with you. I respect you, even if you have our differences. Even if we have our differences also. Vector says hi. Hello, Vector. He neither agrees nor disagrees with me. Smart boy. Awesome, awesome. Well, I appreciate that, Linda. I really do. So, all right. Now look, and as you guys heard from the music earlier, apparently two of the things that I have in here article-wise are things that, is a video and it went right to a video, and I'm not even going to get into that. Brian puts in there, goes, if they don't like it, they can go back home and turn on the new IGBTV. Exactly. Because I don't care. I'm here to speak truth to the best of my ability. That's why I'm here. And that's also why I put all the articles that I put in there. Now granted, some of the stuff I do is points of view, but I try to do as much fact-based stuff as I possibly can. I really do. And I'm not going to lie to you. This isn't news. This isn't a news program, podcast, whatever. This is news commentary. And I'm biased to the Constitution, but I'm open and honest about my biases, by that word that I'm trying to say. Yeah. I'm open and upfront about that. So let's get into the controversy. This is going to be fun. This is going to be interesting. All right. I'm going to be honest with y'all about something. Okay. I don't understand racism. I don't understand it at all. I really don't. I consider myself a Heinz 57. I really do. I am a quarter Canadian. My grandmother on my mother's side was Canadian from Canada. She never became a legalized citizen. She just married grandpa and stayed. She was legally here. Don't get me wrong. She wasn't an illegal alien. And she was, of Scottish descent. I'm sixth generation American-born Hohenstein, which is very German. German Jew by blood. I've also got some Dutch in there. Italian in there. I consider myself a Heinz 57. I don't consider myself white. In fact, I consider myself colored. I worked at Walmart for a while. And Linda goes, I am also a Heinz 57 European mix. Yeah. But I used to work at, Walmart, and I was an unloader. 4 p.m. to 1 a.m. I seen the sun for maybe an hour a day, 5 days a week. And other than that, I pretty well kept my sleep schedule right around there. I got, working in a hot box. I got, I went from a 4 or 5 XL t-shirt down to an extra large. I went from a 46-inch jean down to a 36-inch jean. And I lost a lot of color. I turned white, like borderline powder, like you can, like I just had to walk outside and you could see me. I glowed in the dark. It was pathetic. I was pale and I got skinny. My dad legitimately thought that I was sick and asked me if I was okay because all this happened over the course of 5-6 months. I also worked, after that several years, I worked at Six Flags outside security in a hot boiling sun. So like from sleeve down, I was more Mexican and looked more Mexican than Gabriel Iglesias. Still a Caucasian up here, as you can see the difference. Yeah, I looked more Mexican than Gabriel Iglesias. Fluffy Mexican, and then a handful of years before that, I was skinny powder. I stay out in the sun too long with my sleeves up, my skin's turning red. Eventually it's going to go brown. You smack me, I might turn purple. If I eat too many carrots, I'm going to turn orange. If I, jaundice, I'll turn yellow. Maybe too much spinach will not only give me muscles, but, it might also make me turn green. I have no idea. I've not tried that. I don't like spinach that much. I consider myself colored because I'm very numerous, spectrums I have been on the scale. We're not white and black. We are shades of brown, minimally melanin is one of the things of how I've heard it. Is that stuff kind of like the new Lumi that's out? So yeah, my ancestors all over the place. So being a Heinz 57, how can you be racist towards towards anybody. I mean, I honestly don't know all of my heritage. Linda goes, I'm a cappuccino colored. Nice. I don't understand racism. I really don't, And before, I had mentioned that, German Jew by blood. I've had this confirmed enough. I haven't tracked it down a lot because a lot of the information about my family in Germany I'm having issues tracking down that kind of stuff, but I know I'm German Jew by heritage. Now, just so you know, the Jews had it pretty bad back in history. Okay? Had it pretty bad. Slaves, forced to do all kinds of stuff, still fighting for their land today. I know that through all of that, through all of the history that had nothing to do with me, several generations removed from me, in fact. Like I said, I'm sixth generation American born Hohenstein. My family came over here before World War II. But I know that the best thing that happened to me is the path that my family took that brought me here. I know this. I know some of the darker days of my family's history. Yeah, some dark stuff has happened. But I know the best thing that happened to me was the culmination of that and me coming here. Now to the article. Controversy, just saying. There is some stuff going on down in Florida that Ron DeSantis is implementing. Okay, of course, one of the things is he is talking about trying to eliminate the Department of Education. Why? Because he's getting sick and tired of the Department of Education not being about education, but about indoctrination. He's getting sick and tired of stuff like CRT being taught that is teaching kids to be racist simply by the color of their skin, teaching you that you look more Mexican than Brandon. I don't know, man. He looks pretty Mexican. I'm just saying. I mean, but I did, though. I mean, there was a point that, yeah, I definitely look pretty stinking Mexican. I mean, holy cow. I used to keep around with me 3 different driver's licenses. The before working at Walmart where I looked relatively normal, not like I look normal. And then just after working at Walmart where I was a skinny, pale white kid. And then, after I worked at Six Flags where I was definitely a fluffy Mexican. And then, now, I mean, I used to keep several IDs with me because the many shapes, sizes, and colors of the ho-ho, and I had to, I mean, I'm caramel ho-ho, I'm regular chocolate-coated ho-ho, I'm white chocolate ho-ho. I have all kinds of flavors going around. I had to carry several of them just so I can say, look, okay, here's one of them, this me, the shades and shapes in between, there you go. It's me, trying to buy alcohol or cigarettes, and they're like, that is not you. Bravo Sierra, it is. Sell me the stinking cigarettes. I was at the local grocery store here in town, and I bought a 6-pack of Bud Light. This was before it was Bud Light. But hey, it was before that, Bud Light, back in the day. And she, the cashier just kind of eyeballed me. She rang it up and she shoved it on down the line. And I go, I also need a pack of Marlboro Reds in the box. And the lady goes, I need to see your ID. I go, let me ask you a question. Now, I did this while I was getting my ID out, mind you. I was not refusing to show her my ID, but I asked her. I go, if I'm too young for the cigarettes, are you going to let me keep the beer? Because, honey, if this was a sting, you done screwed up. Just saying. Just throwing that out there. If this was a sting, you done messed up. If I'm not old enough for the cigarettes, are you going to let me keep the alcohol? I thought that was freaking hilarious. She did not see the humor in it that I did. Anyway, let's get back into the controversy. So Ron DeSantis is wanting to eliminate the Department of Education because the Department of Education is not about education. It's about indoctrination. Okay. There's this, if you go to thehohoshow.com, scroll on down or go over to the news feed, get into that magazine, scroll on down towards the bottom of the magazine, 7/22/2023. You will see this article in here. I'll show you what it looks like. Governor Ron DeSantis, Republican, Florida, explains why he wants to eliminate the Department of Education. That is a video. Go ahead and check that out. I'm not playing it here. And then you have this article that's right next to it. Slavery to be taught as benefit to black people in Florida schools. And then this article that I was getting into as well. Jesse Waters defends Florida curriculum, teaching how black people develop skills during slavery, sometimes to their benefit, because these things did happen. Okay, now, yes, okay, don't get me wrong, slavery was bad. Slavery bad. It wasn't until after slavery that we actually had, innovation in farming equipment. It wasn't until the end of slavery that we actually kind of figured some stuff out, and we had some, machinery and whatnot. And we figured out some nice ways of doing stuff, but at any rate, that's that aspect of it. And that was bad. Here's one of the things I talk about. Now, look, I don't mix, religion with, the politics, this show. Okay. I really don't, but the Bible also talks about slavery in there. You're kind of like Elizabeth Warren. Yeah, maybe. Bible talks about slavery. I mean, we have slavery now. There's more slavery today than in any other point in history. Oh, hey, I heard about the developed skills argument. Are they kidding? The only thing they got taught was cotton picking. That's not true, though. I mean, they did learn, a lot of different skills. I mean, you had, Elizabeth Warren. I got you. English, man, you're having trouble typing that. But I mean, there was good things that happened. Like, think about it, like right after slavery, all of the, the businesses, like in the northern states and whatnot, there was a lot of good that came out of that kind of stuff. I mean, there really was, not all black people were slaves. Some black people owned slaves. Some black people became business owners after they came to the North, and a lot of good things happened. Good skills were taught. But here's one of the other things of where my argument is going into. Okay? Today, in America, black people aren't slaves. We may have underground crap going on, child sex trafficking and all this other kind of crap. The 80,000 children that we can't find that, sex traffic and whatnot. Go check out that movie, by the way, Sound of Freedom, I believe, which I do definitely want to see that movie. But, like I said, is talking about my own family. We came from dark places. There are people in this country today that even with our darkened history of America that, yeah, we came from dark places. But here's the thing. We got to get to a point where we can celebrate what is now. I heard Morgan Freeman talk about this, that, you want to stop racism, quit talking about it. He doesn't celebrate Black History Month. Why? Because he doesn't see as though it's relevant. He doesn't see as though it's relevant for him today. Okay. I respect his point of view, and I understand what he's saying. We have a lot to celebrate in this country. We've had our dark days. We have learned and we have grown as a people, as a society, as a culture. We've come a long way. Why are we punishing people for things that happened generations ago? There was a, yeah, I'm going to get hate for this one. I don't even care. There was a couple, I don't remember where the heck I was at. I was in the city somewhere. I think I was down in St. Louis. I don't remember. White guy, black guy arguing with each other. And they probably were friends. I have absolutely no idea because it was kind of heated, but not really argument that these two people were having. And I got to the point to where somebody apparently pissed in my cereal and I wasn't having any of it that day, and I first said, spoke up to the black guy. I'm like, dude, look, the best thing that ever happened to you was slavery. You're here now. Great. Yada, yada, blah, blah. If you don't like it, I will put you on a boat and I will send you back. I don't even care. It's not like, the cruise ship showed up and fooled your people onto the boat and, now you were a slave. That isn't what happened. Don't fool yourself. You were sold into slavery by other black guy. You got put on a boat and then now you're here. The first slave owner in the United States of America was a black guy. Don't fool yourself. You want to, you say you have it so bad here. I will put you on a boat and send you back over there. And the white guy was like, yeah. And I'm like, dude, shut the hell up. Because if you wasn't so lazy to pick your own cotton, he wouldn't have been here in the first freaking place. And it was like, Brian goes, damn spell check. I know, man. I know how it is. Linda puts in here, he goes, we have so many more opportunities now than when we did during slavery. Absolutely. Everyone now has a chance to learn and be whatever they want to be. And you're absolutely right. And that's what my point is. We've learned from where we were. Now, look, I'm not saying that, slavery doesn't exist. Sure, you're going to have bad apples. But systemic racism? I mean, there's like literally laws protecting people from that kind of thing. I mean, there literally is. And I'm not talking anti-discrimination laws where, you have to have, your equal opportunities, you got to meet your quota on so many black people, whatnot. No. Everybody is an equal opportunity employer. Martin Luther King Jr., Colorblind Society, by merits, not by race, by merit, judge me based off of my merit. That's what the man said. We do have many more opportunities today than what they did back during slavery. We did. We need to celebrate these type of things. And that's what Ron DeSantis is wanting to do down there in Florida. Teach the past as ugly as it is. Yes. I'm not saying don't. But don't teach hate as though hate is a virtue and something that should be celebrated. That's what we need to quit doing. Quit teaching hate. Yes, slavery happened. Guess what? It wasn't just black people in America. It was also Native Americans, and it was also the Irish, and the Irish are freaking white. They were also slaves in this country. It wasn't just black people that were slaves in America. And it's not just black people that are slaves across the world. Like I said, today we have more slaves than any other point in history. And they ain't mostly black. Just saying. In fact, most slaves out there today are white. Just saying. Some people don't like truth, but it is what it is. You don't believe me? Look it up. I mean, the most hated religion right now is Christianity. Don't believe me? Look it up. Thank God for the United States of America, where we are free from that kind of crap. Religious persecution and the like. Celebrate how far we have come. Acknowledge that, yeah, we still have issues, and we probably will for years to come. But you know what? That's not where we need to rest on our issues. Celebrate what we have done. Fix what's left to be fixed. Fix what's left that is Screw it. My mouth and my brain were talking at the same time, and I don't think either one of them agreed on what the heck I was going to say. That was great. That was awesome. Y'all ever have that happen to you? It happens to me. It happens to me all the time. So you know what, guys? That's really all I got. That's all I got for today. I really do. You know, I got to tell you guys about something. I do 4 different podcasts. You know, I got this one, Religion Ho-Ho's Way, the movie review, and Black Mirror podcast. This one and, the Religion Ho-Ho's Way are kind of, passion projects. And then, Black Mirror podcast is a psychological thing. It's an interest, intriguing. I find it awesome to explore. That sucker has blown up. Holy crap. The numbers on that thing are freaking huge. So check it out. Black Mirror Podcast. Anywhere podcasts can be found. The easiest way to find it would be, just Spotify. We're on Spotify. That's good. You can head on over to thehohoshow.com. Go on the episodes, and it's in there. Video, the most recent episode is in there. All that other kind of good stuff. There you go. Anyway, that is all I got for today. I thank you very much for stopping by, being part of the conversation. I greatly appreciate it. Y'all are awesome. None of this would be possible without you. That is definitely the truth. There we go. So y'all have yourself a great one, and I will see you next time. This has been The Ho-Ho Show. For more information, you can head to thehohoshow.com. And for the merchandise store, you can head on over to stinkpickle.com. That is stinkpickle.com. Until next time.
Yeah.